The name of the tree farm is Olele Woodlands LLC. We're located on the eastern side of the Olympic Peninsula here in Washington State, about 5 miles north of the community development called Port Ludlow. My grandpa bought something like 300 acres of land here after selling 1,000 acres that he had down in Union for $1,000, and came up here, invested the money in this 300, and then he lived off of the property all along the water, selling it off to people for the development of homes and stuff. But we ended up with still holding 200 acres of forest land, which my brothers and dad, we looked at all kinds of different possibilities of what we could do with it. That didn't ever pan out. And then the GMA came along, and it was determined that probably the wisest thing to do with this land was grow trees, because doing anything else was just not going to be allowed. It's a 100-year-old forest for the most part, other than the fact that we just logged off about 80 acres in 2017. In 1996, my brother was living here, and they logged off the 20-acre piece that we're sitting on right here, which is where the home front was established for my folks. I don't have the 100-year-old forest next to me anymore because we harvested it, but we still have 80 acres of 100-year-old forest, just a hint down to the south from us here, across Oak Bay Road from this side of the property. And trees down there are huge. They're probably some of the largest trees we have on our property. And as soon as you step into it, it's an entirely different world. It's quiet. It's not close to this road, so you can't hear the road that much. And it's a magical place. I mean, we're just started for yesterday. We put in 28,000 trees into the ground. We're going to put another 3,000 in tomorrow in this particular part of the forest. So it's going to take a while. The tree species that grow here are just about everything that you can imagine here in Western Washington. We have Western red cedar and Douglas fir, hemlock, Sitka spruce, big leaf maple. There are pin cherry trees. There's a couple of different varieties of willow. We've got little bits of holly trees growing. It's the whole variety, and we have wildlife. I think the deer are probably the most prolific and most commonly seen. We have coyote, we've seen bobcats, and I've seen a weasel, definitely seen mountain lion, black bear. We get otters coming up here, and there are of course the frogs. And so we do have water that flows through these things. We just, keep it clean, allow whatever wants to get a drink because we have a couple of pondish type areas where the animals can actually get water all year round here. Challenges. It's a lot of work. I landed here in '92 with my family on a crash course of what does it mean to be a forester. And I literally read everything I could get my hands on, discovering what the issues were. And one of the first things that I discovered in looking at the forest is that these hemlock trees had become really, really spongy. They were just literally dissolving and falling over. And when I discovered everything about poria root rot that I could, I'm just kind of like, this is what the situation that I have, and I can't replant these areas after we're done in fir. Doug fir, because it affected a few of the Doug fir, but it really hit the hemlock hard up there. So I said, well, I'm going to just replant it in cedar. About 3,000 Western red cedar is what I planted, and I think I managed to have about 100 of them survive that the deer didn't get anyway, because they would just sort of grab a hold of whatever they could and just yank them out of the ground. The human predation, we'll call it that, on the forest. I have lost so many years worth of firewood from here, and gates and parts of my truck and chainsaws, and it's been one of the biggest challenges. I now have 4 game cams out. And people say, oh, you got some game cams out? I said, yeah, but they're for human predation. I don't really have an answer as to what the long-range plan is for this thing. I don't know how much longer I can keep doing the work that I need to do in this place, but I will go until I drop. Lay me down under a tree and let me rest off into eternity.